So you guys should know me well enough by now to know that usually when rumours or leaks pop up on games, if they're ones I'm interested in, I will talk about them or give an opinion or two about them. One game series I've never spoke about on this channel is the Bioshock series. It's not because I don't enjoy them, but compared to most other series like Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill or Resident Evil, even though I really enjoy the Bioshock series, they're not what I would consider go-to games. I've played all of them, played the DLCs, and I do love them to death. I think they are great games, and each game individually stands up on its own, regardless of your opinions on specific mechanics and gameplay choices that they've made over the current 3 entries in the series. Now, Bioshock 4 is something that we have known exists for a little while now. It's not exactly been a secret, it's not exactly been a mystery. The term worst kept secret in gaming history gets thrown around quite a lot. You could put that on Bioshock 4, but I don't think 2K has really made any effort to keep this game's development a secret. We've had like investor reports and development reports and stuff like that this game is in development. Job advertisements have been found online. 2K hasn't tried to deny or cover up the existence of any of this. Because of this, we're not really getting much in terms of official news from it. It's mostly just insider sources and stuff like that, which is typical. And as always, stuff like this should be taken with a grain of salt. I haven't done too much research into this because I don't want to chase a rabbit down a hole that is just going to lead to a group of feral rabbits that are going to eat my face and absolutely murder me. It was probably a bit of an extreme metaphor for just wanting to say that it's probably like nothing. But oh well, that's done. That's fucking recorded on the internet forever, I suppose. I don't remember off the top of my head the names of the people who've reported on this. In post, I will add whatever I need to add, where I need to add it. But we'll just get on. I'm rambling. So last night I was doing as I usually do, browsing through YouTube when I hadn't checked up on any rumours. I tend to do this thing like once every week or so where I'll check out if there's any new Breath of the Wild 2 news or leaks. Fable 4, I was recently looking up a lot of like the Splinter Cell stuff, chasing up any potential Metal Gear Solid stuff, and Bioshock 4 always finds itself in there as well. Not as often as others because it is something I do tend to forget about, but Bioshock 4, at least last night, was on the list of things I wanted to check out. And as of recording right now, there was a video posted just after the Game Awards and one posted just before the Game Awards, where turns out there was some news that I either missed or it wasn't really published a lot because it was covered by smaller channels. And that's the fact that we potentially have a name and a setting for Bioshock 4. Cat's joined me. So from, again, I don't remember the name of the leaker, if they can be called that, if this is leaked news or just something they've shared. But apparently Bioshock 4 is going to be going by the name Bioshock Isolation. Now, at first, because I had heard rumours that apparently the next Bioshock's going to be set in space or something, so I thought it might be a placeholder name because of Alien Isolation. So Bioshock Isolation was probably going to be a placeholder name for that. But in the video I watched last night, the one that was set just before the Game Awards, the guy talking in it made mention of the fact that the person who's also shared the name of Isolation has potentially given us the location of where we'll be exploring, as well as the name of the city or town or whatever it's going to be for Bioshock 4. So according to this, Bioshock Isolation is going to be set in an Arctic environment. Again, I don't know if it's a town, a city, or judging by the fact that it's like Arctic, it might be some kind of like installation, maybe like a facility, like a research facility or something like that. It's apparently going to be called Borealis, which again leads to me thinking that it's probably going to be like a research facility or something like that. Just because normally when it comes to like Arctic places called Borealis, it kind of has like this X-Files Black Ops site feel to it. But I could be proven wrong. Someone might have found a way to make a temperate paradise in the Arctic through some kind of scientific amazement with like the world's largest underfloor heating system. We don't know. This isn't really the way I expected the series to go. Admittedly, we don't know enough, and it could have gone any which way. A video I had planned a while ago where a friend of mine and I were discussing a potential for Bioshock 4. We're talking about maybe like a Middle America MK Ultra style thing, where it's like set in the 60s during like MK Ultra, and like it's a whole thing. If you want to see that video, let me know. I've still got all the files for it. It was just a nightmare to edit because I wanted to get like a bunch of relevant footage and stuff like that. But quick update, the day after I recorded this video, my computer blue screened again and my hard drive completely failed on me, so I do not have that file anymore. The footage is now lost to time, so sorry. I thought that kind of made sense because, you know, Bioshock's always had this like mental programming kind of thing, you know, like manipulating the masses and that kind of stuff. Like Bioshock 1 and 2, you know, like all of the, I can't think, there's a fancy word for it, but all that kind of like social manipulative, paradise gone wrong kind of. And when you hear like Arctic setting and a place called Borealis, I don't really get that. Again, I could be proven wrong, and that's fine. I'm not going to complain at that if that's the case and it turns out this is going to be another amazing game. But the space setting is something, if they're not exploring that, I think that is probably for the best. Bioshock is kind of like a spiritual successor to the System Shock franchise, which was set in space going against a rogue AI. So I think they'd probably be getting a little bit too close to their roots setting it in space. That would also then mean that it'd be taking place somewhere in the future, like distant future maybe, which would kind of take away from one of the other charms that the Bioshock system has, the Bioshock series has, which was being set in the past, in the 1920s, the 1960s, and the arse end of the 1960s as well, like 1959 and 1969. That's kind of where a lot of the charm draws from Bioshock, the fact that it's like old-timey but with a twist. And you can't really do that in space, because how are you going to have a steampunk space station without it, you know, being futuristic? So I'm kind of glad they didn't go that way. But if they are doing the Arctic Borealis thing, the only other way I can imagine them maybe doing it is it's kind of like a city, like an underground city or something built inside of a mountain, or they've somehow used like natural glaciers and stuff to provide the heating they need to stop this town and everyone inside it from freezing to death being in the middle of the fucking Arctic. But like I said, this is all a rumor so far, or well, I mean, I don't know what I'm labeling it as. Again, in post I will put something up here to tell you what my my end synopsis of it all is, I suppose. I don't know if synopsis is the right word. I'm not a wordy person. I like to talk, but that doesn't mean I know words. But regardless, I am excited to see where this game goes. I know there was talks about maybe some kind of like open world dynamic. That kind of then has its own questioning around like how are you going to implement that in an Arctic environment or in a space environment, We'll just have to wait and see. We haven't really had any official word on what's going on with Bioshock. I was hoping to see something maybe at E3 last year or the Game Awards, but we've got events coming up early 2022, well really all the way through 2022, so I'm expecting we will see or hear something at least this year. I don't think we'll get a 2022 release, even though that was another thing that they discussed in the video. I don't think that's the case because we haven't seen anything yet, and you don't usually announce a game and then release the game in the same year, or at the very least not super close to each other. I mean, assuming we're going to get like an E3 announcement maybe, and then they release the game at the arse ends maybe in like November or something. I don't see that. I'd say it's like early 2023 at most, but that's another thing that remains to be seen. Anyway, let me know what you think, what kind of environments and set pieces you'd like to explore in a new Bioshock game, what you think the actual setting could be, or how they could make the current rumoured settings work. Would you like to see the return of plasmids or whatever this game's variation is going to be? Do you want them to stay in the past? Do you want them to move them to like present day, future times? Let me know down below. Let's get this ball rolling, because this has the potential to be very, very interesting given Bioshock's pedigree. But that's enough from me for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want, and I will see you all in the next video.